It all starts right now.
Glory is just a heartbeat away. The time to put your stamp on this new era is now. So soak in every moment, because this is your call to be the best, to be the first, to prove once and for all the road to glory wasn't given, it's been earned.
Hello and welcome to the 2020 CDL Season Retrospective presented by Grubhub. I'll be your host, Clint Maven Evans, alongside Joe Merck DeLuca. It all started January 2020 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We had our 12 franchise teams. Now the stage is set, the seeds are set. It's time to talk playoffs. First, I'm going to kick it off talking about London. I don't think many people saw them getting into the top four, but somehow the Ravens get it done. Another team we did not see coming. Optic Gaming starting bottom four and then making a run.
They had a great run, but it gets shut down by the Huntsmen.
The other two teams we have in the top four, the Atlanta FaZe and then the Empire as well. Dallas, never say die. Playoffs are in the books. It is now time for championship weekend. Joe, you fired up?
Maven, who doesn't love watching the best teams in the world compete for the most money we have ever seen? It is going to be legendary.
Oh, wonderful.
Use the code of the team you think will be the Call of Duty League champion for a chance to win a Grubhub perk. Now, we are gearing up for our first match of the day. It's Huntsmen versus Royal Ravens. Will the powerhouse continue their run, or is Cinderella going to the ball? We will be discussing all of this and more in just a moment, but before we do, let me welcome another addition to our desk here for day one of champs, and that is, of course, Professor Astasio. And I say Professor Astasio because we're having our first ever study session with you, so I want to learn some things going into this match. Talk to me. What lesson is up first?
Okay, so the first lesson right off the rip is the Chicago Huntsmen. This is a team who went all the way to Game 5 in every single one of their series throughout the entire playoffs. And it scares me because this is a team that had 70% win rate in hardpoint, and we're the best hardpoint team going into that event. Now, it's just all on individual players that need to step up, and I'm looking at the twins especially, Prestinni and Arcitys. These guys were those X-Factor players for me throughout that entire playoffs, even though it went all the way down to a Game 5 and Arcitys was able to pick up a two-piece. Prestinni had a .78 throughout the entire playoffs, and throughout the regular season, he had a .92, so he needs to step it up. But Arcitys, he had a .91 compared to the regular season where he had a 1.08, and he even tweeted out at the end of the playoffs saying that he didn't have his best performance. So for them not to force all the way to Game 5 and basically every single series that they played, they need to be able to step it up for sure.
Now, Professor Astasio, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about London as well. I want to know a little bit about Seany and how he fits into the team, because of course, you know, he was the construction man last time we saw him. And what do these guys have to do to kind of seal the deal here?
Well, talking about Seany, this guy was a monster on the map last week during playoffs. Every time that he needed to go big for his roster, he did. You saw him in that big 1v1 clutch versus Attach to start off 7-0 on Ramaza S&D Game 5. And that's such a great upwards for him because he was at a player who was sitting at a .87 throughout the entire regular season. And at the end of the playoffs, he had a 1.01. And I'm not only going to give credit to him, I'm also going to give credit to Zero. This is a player who went from the subliners and switched to the London Royal Ravens. He had a .94 throughout the entire regular season, but his finessing in hardpoint is insane. He had a 1.07, and if he steps up for that roster, then they should be set in stone as well.
Well, thank you very much, Study. We've had our first study session at the School of CDL, of course, but next we have a bit of homework to do with Nameless because we have our Game Fuel keys to victory for Chicago Huntsmen. Pal, talk us through it.
Well, thank you, Study. That was amazing and immaculate. We need to have that going forward. But for the keys to victory for the Chicago Huntsmen, close it out before Game 5. They have the highest win percentage on game 1 and 2 in the CDL, and they have the lowest win percentage in game 5 of the 4 teams remaining at 37.5%. Now they went to game 5, right? And it's been very intense and very scary. It's made for some great moments, but you don't want to be in those moments if you are a player. You want to close it out before then, right? So take command on map 1 and try to close it out before it gets to 5. So go big and secure that domination, because that's where London is not good. For London, Seany led the way with a 1.3 overall in their last match. He had the highest KD on the team by a whopping 0.25, leading them to an upset versus the Ultra. You're going to need Seany to come back out in a big way to help out the rest of the guys on this team. If he's performing, it's going to make it a lot easier. Focus on that Dom. They've only won 1 Dom in playoffs. They're 10-20 on the regular season. That's the worst Dom win percentage of the teams left in champs. That could be the key swing mode that gets them over the edge in these last few series.
Well, we are going to head really quickly to, of course, our predictions brought to you by Sony's Xperia smartphone. So, Study, I'm going with you first, pal. Where are we going for this?
I'm going Chicago 3-2. You know, I feel like this is going to go all the way down to the wire. The Huntsmen are, London are really bad when it comes to that domination game mode. But who knows? They were able to pull off a couple in that playoffs. I expect the Huntsmen to be in full form in this championship weekend, and hopefully they'll be able to close it out.
Okay, Nameless, what about you, friend?
I'm sorry, Lottie. I'm so sorry, but I'm going 3-0 Chicago. That highest game 1 and 2 win percentage is huge for me. They were the best hardpoint team throughout the season, and they're going up against one of the worst domination teams in the entire season. I think they have a big opportunity here to go big early on and close it out in 3. I think they do it.
Hey, look, it hurts. It cuts deep, but I forgive you. I understand. Look, both of these teams are absolutely incredible. You can't take it away from Huntsmen, but I have to go with my heart, and that, of course, is with the London Royal Ravens. I'm going to say 3-2 because the domination is just looking very, very shaky. I'm just going to say that. But, you know, hey, I believe in them. So I'm heading over right now to your 2 casters who are going to be doing the most through this game. It's our match 1 of champs. I'm so excited to get into this one. So Chance and Miles, take it away, fellas.
Lottie, thank you very, very much. It is now time to roll across the ground floor of the bunker and get us on screen. I wonder if that works. If I shout on screen, it happens just at the right time. I may never know, Chance. But, mate, you know what I was thinking? I was like, I'm glad they put us landscape, but between my hair and beard and the fact that you're such a tall and powerful man, they might have had to put us portrait. But, mate, let's get into this one. This is truly going to be an absolute banger to start off the day here. Again, the championships have always been exciting. COD Champs has been a long-running staple here in the esports world, and now with a slightly different look, we're ready to rock and roll into this one. And, mate, this is going to be a big one. I mean, have you got any gut feelings going into this one just before we get started?
Bro, I'm telling you, my gut feeling was like Chicago's gonna take it early on. I saw the map set and I was like, dude, I don't know anymore. It's tough to call. Like, we got Ramaz back-to-back twice in a row. We know how good Construction Man Seany can be. And it really is one of those things, like, I tried to get my Doctor Strange on, tried to see every single possible outcome, and I could see it all. I could very well see this going to a 3-0 towards the Ravens because the maps are actually pretty good for them. Even the domination, which we have been ragging on the Ravens for so long about, they've played Chicago on Gunrunner Dom once before. It was a 1-point game. It's like, it's champs, stats go out the window, nothing matters anymore except for who clutches up on the day. And I think the Ravens, at least the balls in their court, could force this to a great series.
A great series ahead of us, no doubt, as we now get into game number 1, our first match here at the CDL Champs weekend. And it is sure to be a good one. London Royal Ravens there will be in the dark blue. On the other side of the board, Chicago Huntsmen in the green. Let's get into this one, Chance. Straight in the Ramaz we go. We'll do the team intros a little bit later because we just wanted to get to the matchup. We wanted to get this ball rolling. And as you can see, straight off for the races, Arcitys finds the kill. Finds 2 there. And with those few now, we're going to see London actually manage to get on that point for the first few seconds there.
Not a bad opening break at all. Chicago, though, you can see pouring in a ton of pressure over towards Construction and trying to flip those spawns as early as possible. That's why Dylan, while he's inside the point, is wrapping back. And they're frankly just trying to hump these players down. It's only Scump that's left over or towards Construction side. And of course, all this time in the hill still has been going the way of the Ravens. The best start they could have asked for.
First to 250 points here on Hardpoint. This one will be moving in 25 seconds, and as you can see, lower left-hand side of the minimap, number 5 is going to be Prestinni already, playing for the next spawns. On the other side of the board for London, it's going to be Dylan at number 8, making his way through the bottom side of the map. So Prestinni now tries to contest up forward. And Again, a little bit of time to be had here. The remaining 10 could go the way of the Ravens, but you have to look towards that second hardpoint chance. Lower left-hand side, it appears to be all Chicago.
Yeah, shout out to Prestinni. He was the man that's able to flip the spawns. While all the spawns are being flipped, Dylan somehow gets in the back. He does end up getting killed with a little bit of help from Formal in the back, but either way, all the great work Chicago did to get those spawns. London has already retaken that pressure on the backside, and that's where guys like Skrapz are trying to work from. Envoy, though, front, you need to make sure you pour the pressure on, and right now Envoy in prime position, just waiting for these players to walk in his line of sight.
It's a front door barge. That's where the battle's going to be taking place. Trades go either side. Seany finds 5 in a row. In from behind comes Arcitys from the back room. Great crossfire there from the Huntsmen. They will clean up the remaining 3, and with those kills, straight off the break, they're going to be a foot race now towards the next hardpoint. And we've got a bit of a head start on them, but now we're seeing Arcitys on your screen, charging in towards the barbershop hardpoint. Envoy trying to clear out the middle side and the top side of the map. He's got eyes on the flank just in case. Formal wins a big 1v1 against Seany, the construction man himself. 10 seconds to go chance. And we've still got a battle raging for this next hardpoint.
Already, though, massive win, I'd say, for Chicago, just to get those players in the back, but obviously the gunfight's ever so important. Arcitys trying to stay alive, had a little bit of help from the smokes, and he's able to stabilize and keep that back pressure, but never mind, Ravens get the back spawn just like that, so all the work from Chicago gets eviscerated. Now Chicago's forced to try to flood from the front, and talk about a big moment. The spawns coming in for the Ravens, trying to bump up that lead just a little bit more.
Ravens, though, spawning in towards construction site, towards that top left. You see number 7 on that mini-map, so they've got a bit of a journey to make their way across now and into the jaws of this hard point. Seany goes down, and it's a kill from Prestinni in from behind. Again, now we are seeing the Huntsmen spawning that right-hand side of the map. Wuskin's with a M4 now, bringing shots down range. Seany finds 2 with an 8 in the backside, and there's a lot of kills going the way. The spawns have now got a bit squirrely, and look at that! The Huntsmen have just spawned across the south side of the map, from corner to corner, from coast to coast. What's this going to do for the next hardpoint? It all comes down to Seany. Can he defend construction alone?
Oh, he gets taken down very, very quickly because, again, already the spawn system we've had, one of the more chaotic maps off the rip of just the constant spawning out right behind the other team. But, hey, it's Modern Warfare. We would not have it any other way. But good news for Chicago, they get that rotation, and more importantly, they have Arcitys with the hot hand, 13 kills already to his name. And by the way, in this head-to-head matchup, these teams have played each other 3 times. Arcitys leading the pack with a 1.33 KD in the head-to-head.
Here we go to another hard point. Seany cut down from the front. Formal now trying to make his way through the top side. Kills come through, and it's going to be 0 from upstairs. Now Scump, he's trying to lead the charge through the front. Arcitys with the opening kill. Does find one. Here comes Scump, and the old bait and switch. Shots down onto Seany. The kill comes through. Huntsman keeping this push alive. Wuskin with the M4. He catches the crossfire, and it's going to be 0 who picks up the 2 there. So London Royal Ravens, they keep a hold of construction. Skrapz with another big win. The kill's now starting to work out for the Ravens. 11 and 8 overall for 0. That's 4 in a row. 11 and 9 for Wuskins. But still, it's going to be Arcitys leading the charge there for the Huntsman. That 15 kills chance, keeping the boys alive.
And Chicago right now, they need a stable hold on this hill. You can already see the pinch effectively working in, right? You got 0 towards the middle of the map, who does get cut down, but players might fill into exactly where he was. And you also have players all the way in the back. That's going to be Dylan trying to stay alive and just try to force out these spawns. And he's got the teamwork. So right now, London, they have cleared out the back. Now you go for that contest time and try to chip away at this time that Chicago's attempting to start to rack up.
So here on Ruins, you can see the Huntsman finding those kills left, right, and center. Comes the push now from Scump. Nades out, trying to slow those players down from the back. But the plan for Ravens right now is not only just trying to contest and pick up as much time as to take back map control. Now they're spawning out. They've spawned to the left. To take top construction. There will be a battle now as Envoy eyes on player number 1. He didn't catch the second player, but the second player caught him. Kills go down. Ravens with map control and with the remaining 15.
That is a very nice trades to come in just to get that construction long down. This is all about setting yourself up long term for the Ravens right now. 40-point lead, not a terrible spot, and they at least have that early pressure towards this hill as well. We saw the setup right off the rip. You get Seany in construction, you get Dylan inside the point, but you see the gunfight going down. Seany can't quite find the kill. Gonna drop him, and Dylan still alive. The 5-man wipe is a success, and you even have a player like 0. He's pushed out so far mid-map. Can be the cutoff man and make Dylan's job in the hill that much easier.
Dylan doing we can stay alive with finesse. Now falls the construction man himself. Seany wins a big one. 12 and 11 overall. Hardpoint time still ticking the way of the London Royal Ravens. Prestinni's up next. shots and the nades coming through. Just trying to apply some form of pressure to that top power position. Shawnee finally goes down onto Dylan now and the rest of the squad. In that PIP, you can see the rotation's already gone down, and it's Arcitys, the kill leader now for the Huntsmen, now taking control of the spawns. The man simply does it all.
Yeah, this is deja vu all over again. This is exactly what happened the first time around where, hey, it's the P1. Ravens get a nice little jump, but someone for Chicago able to sneak through and flip those spawns. And frankly, Chicago, they're going to need a very strong hold on this hill. This time, all the brat in the world is cleared out. They don't have to worry about any sneakiness, but the gunfights from the front are he's able to pick up a couple more inside this hill, and for the moment, Chicago nice and stable, but at the same time, down by 50 points, they have a long road ahead.
Good hard point for Chicago, though. Trying to hold this one down. Arcitys once again finds kill number 20. MP5 in hands, a couple of Ravens there just laying prone out the outside of the hard point. No one's quite able to make the play here. Wuskin's now trying to find something, possibly bait a teammate, wait for the reinforcements to sharpen. Here come the Ravens, and Envoy! He gets all four in the kill feed! Envoy kills almost the entire team! Unbelievable stuff! This was a good hard point for the Huntsmen, and it's still a great one. Now the rotations are already gone down, and it's going to be Scump, the lone man, in the backside now of Barbershop. He finds one. He gets the second as well. 5 kills in a row for Scump, and a very strong look for the Huntsmen going into Barbershop.
Scump right now having the tournament of his life for the moment. He's able to pick up even another one before he gets cut down. And yes, those back spawns do not go away to Chicago. I was thinking Scump might have bought his team just enough time, but no, Ravens able to stay alive, trying to bounce back and potentially get that full 60 of their own. And if that happens, that might be a GG. The pressure on Chicago, they need to get inside this hill. They're trying to get players in the back to stay alive. No success really on any front. They need to find a way just to make that break.
Trying to get the break. See London now spawning out on the right-hand side. They will be trapped if the Huntsmen can now just reposition and prevent them from escaping this Barbershop. They may have the next 30 seconds, but they will lose map control, and they will lose control of the next hardpoint. Arcitys trying to just poke through that front door. No reservation required. You don't have to get your haircut outside these days, thanks to COVID. And I can assure you, it's pretty dangerous, but nowhere near as dangerous as these players are. 20 and 18 overall for Envoy. They're heroics, keeping his team in this one. And you can see already, Arcitys making his way out across map. Huntsmen, they have trapped the Ravens here in Barbershop.
And they had enough big kills to get that pressure on the point where you're going to a construction, you're only down by 30. Not a terrible spot to be in at all. Of course, though, you can actually see Chicago. They might have thought someone slipped through because they actually played this pretty passive. They gave up a ton of power positions on the rotation, but at the very least, that rotation is secure. Now, it's all about that hold, and you can see the Ravens, a couple players trying to flood up mid, and a bunch pushing down underneath this P1. Alec up top is able to drop the first before he gets traded, and Ravens, they make that first push, they get the clearance. Now it's about the actual break inside the hard.
On the formal, finds 2 kills, tags up the third, but not able to get it. Onto Envoy now we go. Finds Shawnee. Can't quite find the kill on a Wuskin, but still, the presence is being felt here. 25 seconds remaining on this hard point now for the Huntsmen, and Skrapz wins a big one. That's going to be number 3 in a row. 20 seconds remaining here. Not enough to get the win, but going to put the Ravens within spitting distance of map number 1. And they're already now battling for ruins. It's going to be Shawnee on the other side of the map now, trying to contest, trying to contend. Smokes come through. This is for the hard point flip, and potentially for the map. The stick comes through. Shawnee stays alive for the time being, but is it enough to get his teammates in there? The Huntsmen now swarming chance over the next hardpoint.
And they got that full setup. They got everywhere spread. They got the front pushed out. A couple players over towards Barbershop as well. And that's exactly where the Ravens are going to be coming from. Prestinni able to find that first. I think he might be able to cure the player outside for the next one. But Shawnee's going to take him down with the M4. And the back is now open for the Ravens to at least make sure that they can get this contest time and force the new hill, if not just outright win it here.
Try and get it done. The angles are now available for them, but will the Ravens be able to make something of it? Envoy on your screen. MP5 in hand. Shots go through. Prestinni leading the charge. He finds 2 kills on the point, and it's over to Scump now. Again, frantically fighting for their lives. It's going to be Zero with the knife. Trying to just buy some space. No more kills for Zero. Envoy gets it done. The contest is still on. You have to start looking towards the next hardpoint. London now on the time. They're going to get a little bit more out of this one, but Huntsman already in towards the next chance. It is going to go down to the wire. The next hardpoint could well and truly be the end, and look who's in control. It's Huntsman, formal atop the perch. Envoy and Prestinni now swarming for control. This could be it. Ravens got to make a clean break, and the map could be theirs.
Ravens just need 7 seconds. They need 1 break and 0 with those 2 kills. Might have the opening. Players up top of the M4, but the cross is not covered in 0. Able to get through, contest inside the hill. But again, Ravens, their job to stay alive, pick up these kills. The pressure is not on them. Chicago, they have to get the perfect wipe or the game is going to fall.
Finds 2 kills. Skrapz with a teammate. Contest is still on. Right now, London have managed to get a player off. And you can see from the overhead, it's going to come to 0 once again. 4 in a row before going down. It is so close. Huntsmen have to contest. They've got to get on the point. The Ravens have managed to make it clean. And with that, a few more seconds, the Ravens could call map number 1 theirs. 224 to 250. Ravens take map 1.
In the start that they needed, dear Lord, Miles. Everyone is expecting Chicago to win this series, and you even heard Nameless talk about it. The map 1 and map 2 win percentage, Chicago is the best in the league at getting off to those hot starts. The fact that you come out on Ramaza map 1 and take the Huntsmen down, that is a massive, just relief. You feel the stress just oozing away in the plays that London was able to make across the board. Honestly, probably the biggest one in my mind was the 3-piece that Skrapz picked up over towards construction. He did not have the best start to the game. That's where he started to turn things around. And frankly, he bought his team about 15-20 seconds for that scrap, going completely massive on that hill. With a 26-point game, I mean, there's any number of different things you can look at that you would want to go different if you're a Chicago fan, or that the London Royal Ravens did incredibly well. But either way, they got that ball rolling, and I'm telling you, Miles, I saw the map set, and I knew we're going to have a series on our hands.
We've got a damn fine series on our hands. We're 1 map down, but for those of you who have just joined us, to give you a little teaser on the teams who are now playing in this one, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Chicago Huntsmen. The Chicago Huntsmen, some of the most famous Call of Duty players on the planet. Former Arcitys, Envoy, Scump, Prestinni, whether you're a fan of T2P, whether you're a fan of the Sanderson twins, whether you're a fan of Envoy, there's something here for absolutely everyone, and they have had a crazy year so far in the champs and playoffs. Has been incredibly close. The series far from over for them, but their opponents now, hailing from across the pond, it's the London Royal Ravens. The London Royal Ravens looking to take a tremendous upset here in the Call of Duty Championship. Skrapz, Zero, Dylan, Seany, and Wuskin. And again, we know we're 1 map down so far in the series. Search and Destroy is coming up next. But we've got to do our housekeeping, friends. We've got to make sure that all these pieces get out there. And Chance, this it's an unprecedented start. I must admit, mate, we all saw the Huntsmen, one of the more refined respawn teams in the league. We saw them taking that map 1, but the Ravens played spoil there.
And that is the type of spoiler that just makes things extra spicy, because really the only map in this entire series that you say is actually favored for the Ravens, it's that map 2 on Armaza. We are very well potentially going to see a 2-0 up lead for the Ravens.
Indeed. Well, now we get to the most important part of the day, and maybe the last time we get to do this one together, my friend. It is, of course, time for our Grubhub picks of the day. I went with Seany, the construction man, and I wasn't too disappointed. Should have gone with Zero from that last one, mate. But Scump, not a bad choice, my friend. Lando went with Arcitys, but the king himself, Chance. No reason why not to pick him.
I mean, again, the like event effectively for playoffs that he had this past weekend was incredible. Led his team in terms of KD. His search and destroy, by the way, the entire year, but especially last weekend, was completely on point. And obviously, if you don't win that map 1, Scump is the guy I'm looking at on Rammaza to try to help his team out and turn things around, because we've seen on Rammaza quite a few times. Not the best team on that map, 2-5 overall, but obviously round 11s against teams like FaZe, they just need that little something extra.
Just a little something extra is definitely what Scump will be giving you. But now we talk about our food chants. This is it, mate. I think this is the last one. I don't know what order we're doing this in, but mate, it's been a wild ride. Oh, and I'm big balling. I'm big balling for champs, mate. I've got my smoking jacket on. I've got myself a cigar, and I'm enjoying myself a delicious chicken sandwich from Main Chick Hot Chick here in Los Angeles. But bro, you also went with chicken, I understand.
I did go with chicken, had a nice little meal for myself, and look how good that food is. Professional level quality, and I'll say, Miles, nothing is better when you're trying to talk Call of Duty and figure everything out by champs. Pull out the old paddleboard. Just go relax. Think about these teams. Think about all those Rammaza search and destroy plays in your head, and just kick back and relax. One of the best meals I've ever had.
Like the mason jar full of like the cola and everything. Mate,
it's delicious.
I bowed down. That was quite the finish. I didn't realize it was a video. I'll get you next year. Well done, though, to everyone again involved. And again, Chance, it's been an absolute treat getting you here doing our Grubhub picks of the day. But again, do what you can, friends, to get back to local businesses during this very trying time. Grubhub, in the times of 5 until 9 in your time zone. We're giving orders of $30 or more, $10 off. Go to the perks section of the app. I think we're almost ready to rock and roll into the game, my friend. Champs has already been a delight. I hope you're enjoying the show from down here. We're underneath Stadium. We're in Verdansk, coming at you live from the US Air Force Command Center. And someone definitely turn the AC on in here because it's nice and chilly.
Nice and chilly, but the gameplay, Miles, is on fire, as hot as it can be. And that's a little bit too easy of a setup, but again, this Rammaza S&D, London Royal Ravens, 3-1 on this map, which is a great record, but I will say it's also their least played S&D map in the game. They've been saving potentially a little something extra for champs, and of course now for the side of Chicago Huntsmen, their S&D has been their saving grace. Make no mistake, even in playoffs, they have that 4-2 record so far, and all the Game 5s that this team has been going to, the S&D is of ever importance. But this bounce back is not going to be easy in the slightest, of course, with the lack of information, even for the side of Chicago that they're going to have on the Ravens team. It's going to be a tough one to bounce back from. And we're getting it started with Ravens on offense.
You have to think, a team like Huntsmen, for how there's only so many times a trick's going to work on them. A lot of experience on that squad, and a great set of GMs and coaches, everyone, you name it, everyone across the board there in the Huntsman organization doing what they can to make sure the squad is as well oiled and prepared as they possibly can be. Envoy, he shots into the smoke, finds the first. Skrapz can't quite get it as well as the kills come through, and now we've got a little bit of presence here on that B site for the Ravens. The gun shop starts to explode. Skrapz shuts the door. Good manners there. Seany's trying to clear out the top side. It's going to be on Arcitys. Not too many players there have made the rotation across map, and it's Zero who gets the party started down low. He and Skrapz in a two-man push. Scump now. He managed to find one kill in the opening rip. He knows there are 2 players, the minimum below him in this 3 versus 3 situation chance with 35 left on the clock. What a dance this has been.
That dance is on Scump, right? As long as he's alive, this is going to be super difficult for the Ravens to get that bomb down. And of course, time is ticking. Skrapz thinking about making his way up top. The dead silence is there. The play is open. Needs to find the gunfight. Takes down Scump and Prestinni. Not quite fair for the trays, but still 17 seconds left. And you know Formal's up top, ready to take these players down as soon as they make a move towards bomb. Prestinni able to find the second in Wuskin. We see him in the situation. There is not a lot of time on the clock. He's got to fly, and he's trying to hunt down this kill. But of course, Prestinni, he's just going to hide in a corner. And Wuskin, he's got to fly. 1 second left to find it, and not enough time. Chicago Huntsmen get that first round on the board and had just enough in their back pocket to have that saving grace to get those kills and the players on bomb.
Oh, wow. I did not realize the final kill cam there. Prestinni was gifted the kill onto Zero as he flew out the window. Again, the perks of dead silence. Great defensive round there from the Huntsman to get this one started, Chance, and at any moment that could have gone either way. Heads up play from Formal coming in late. He managed to hold his ground on the outside, making sure that no one got in towards the A site, just in case there was a bit of a sleight of hand play there, but wonderful stuff from the Huntsman. Now on offense. Bomb there in the hands of Prestinni. Bit of early information gained there from Arcitys with that stun grenade. Knows there is at least one defender here. Formal from up top. Again, all the tricks come out here at Champs. We've seen this one a few times throughout playoffs. And now it's going to be footsies for both of these teams under the table. kills now start to go through. On the Dylans drop out early on chance with a minute remaining now on the clock. Huntsmen with a very strong amount of control over the B site.
I will say, though, there is still zero either up top. Well, up top, and Arcitys knows he's there. Maybe you pressure him out the back and try to get the bomb down or make sure the nade's on point. The twins with the chemistry. Seany, though, is able to trade out and take down Formal, who is responsible for the flank. And now that flank is wide open. And Scump and Prestinni, they got to figure something out, and they got to do it fast.
It's a 3v2. They're both trapped in this building top of B. And you can see right now, I mean, 30 seconds on it. All you have to do is make sure the bomb carrier doesn't get anything down. Skrapz is now watching the flank to see if anyone's going to go for A, and that's going to be an open lane that Prestinni may take it. If he checks his corners, this could be huge, but there's Skrapz, a big win. Great shots there from the Marshal. Finds the kill, and now it's all down to Scump. 1 versus 3. 10 seconds remaining. He can get all 3 kills, or he can plant the bomb. Potentially neither. That's going to be it. Another round now done and dusted. Another one to the clock. But the Ravens, they now level it up.
And I will say that is a Ravens towards the end, right? As soon as you take down the 2 players, one in tunnel, Formal is over on the top plat area, you take down those players on the flank, and you just say, hey, it's a 3v2. Chicago, the ball's in your court, and Wuskin's the spot he has up top. He's never going to peek. He's never going to waste his life. If that bomb gets planted, then he goes for the instant challenge to take him down. And, of course, Chicago knew this. They try to go for the rotation, but the passive setup was perfect from the London Royal Ravens.
It's evident that both squads extremely well prepared coming into this match, giving them that week to get things all sorted after playoffs. I think was a bit of a bonus for both. Still on your screen, the bomb carrier now for the Ravens. Makes a bit of noise down low, trying to just bait some action there, but you can see the defense now from Huntsmen. They're at A3 and towards B, but they're very deep. They're giving up site control so they can get a shot on that open bomb carrier. Prestinni, through the foliage, he finds one. Nice adaptation there, making things a little more difficult for London. 45 on the clock.
And you saw Ravens immediately. As soon as that shot comes through, they just start that immediate rotation over towards A. And Formal, by the way, has been on point over towards construction all year long. Dylan now on the approach. But Prestinni hits the second shot on the cross. Envoy takes down the player on the bomb. And just like that, 2v3. Seany might be able to get that bomb down.
He doesn't. He actually finds the shots there. He's waiting for the squad to roll up and help out. Seany, though! A bold, daring engagement, charges forward, finds the kill. Is this enough time to get the bomb down, though? Teammate's got to get there to help out. Formal's going to win the fight from upstairs. Bomb may go down. It's going to be Seany versus Formal on the stairs. Can Seany retain his crown in construction? No. Arcitys comes in, makes it tough, and the diffuser's going to be there. Around the... Seany trying to make difficult, but the Huntsmen in the 3v1 situation chance should have all been theirs.
And I will say, shout out to Prestinni with the sniper. This is probably the least sniped upon map that we have, at least this year. And it is very specific situations where you can pull it out. And obviously, the first blood is nice. It's a common spot through the vines. But to be able to spot and hit the shot on the second player on the cross, those are the types of shots that basically just solidify the round. You go up 5v3 in man advantage. It is difficult to lose after that, especially with how clutch Chicago has been in search. Of course, now back on the attack. Might need to figure out something a little bit different, as defense has been thriving early on Armazo.
Looks like an aggressive one now from the Huntsmen. Chicago makes their way right across the top side of the map. Me and Seany, this lone defender here. Zeroes down low. Formal's going to be cut up. That piece of plywood's not going to help too much from those 4 bullets. A great nade from Seany there onto Prestinni. Cleans out the Magic Genie Prestinni from top rugs. And now it comes to Seany once again, slowing this one down. Bomb has yet to be retrieved, as the Huntsmen now have to think about how they want to make this push work out. Kill from Scump would be huge, just opens up a bit of a laneway in towards B chance, but they're playing this very slow. 45 on the clock.
All these players are loud, by the way. Not a single dead silence pop. So as soon as they get near this bottom area, Dylan, who I think is up top right now, actually down low, is going to be able to hear him. And you can see through the wall, he's turning, ready for the gunfights, and drops 2 just like that. 5v2 advantage. Well, make it 5v1 as Skrapz is going to fall, but massive round right now for the Ravens. Pretty much to get that convincing win.
20 seconds remain. Formal wins a big one. 3v2. That's going to be the dagger, surely. Dylan's kill there, and the final shots at the top of Cafe go through. London tied up 2-2.
And these defensive first bloods have just been devastating to both teams, right? Like, as soon as Prestinni gets made it up top from Seany, it basically stops them in their tracks. And then again, it was just systematic. They start that rat back. Dylan can hear it coming from a mile away. And one of the easier double kills he is going to be able to pick up. And really, just some team needs to find a way to break out and just get towards one of these sites without everyone falling along the way. Maybe the best push we've seen has actually been the Ravens when they get the smokes out over towards B. But even when they have success, it's still been difficult to get these round conversions. By the way, sniper shot ringing out. Ravens have to be aware.
Very aware, but it's a good read now from Huntsmen. Formal with a nice nade there. I think it might have been tied in with a nade that came through there from Envoy. A nice bit of two-work there. Takes care of EOD. Perk that allows you to survive a single frag grenade. Now Formal backs up. London, though, with an immediate transition towards the B-bomb site. And again, could be loud, could be a little dangerous. There's plenty of Huntsman players in position there, and it's going to be Dylan leading the charge with a bomb. He's got Wuskin to back him up. But the defense there from Chicago, the trap is set. The Huntsman, they could just spring this one, but no, London, the heckles are up. The Spidey senses tingle chance. They're going back over towards A.
Yeah, but Formal just ready and willing. Easy kills for him. And now he can call out to his teammates, hey, pressure's coming over towards this A site. I just need a little bit of help. We'll be good to go. Skrapz, though, able to get the trade. Ravens might have a bit of an entry push onto this site.
Just Seany up top. And again, that sniper has yet to really come into play, but the pistol sure has. Envoy now takes the top of a Dylan. He wins the second against Wuskin there. Beautiful stuff. Envoy gives us the round, and Huntsmen take the lead.
And again, it's the exact same story. The entire game, really, it has just been devastating for these teams on offense. If they don't get clearance at all and they just keep getting first blooded, it's almost a tragedy. There's not really too much you can do because it's not even a map. You have to be super worried about rotations, especially if you have that man advantage. So Formal, he gets to post up all day long. Nice easy kills, and again, it comes back to the question, who's going to be the team that finds a breakaway round, potentially getting one on offense? That'll be the game changer so far under Mazza.
No one quite able to break out of this one. Oh, but Scump with the first blood on offense. How will Huntsman capitalize? Number 8's already on a big wrap. Dylan, dead silence. Oh, Dylan, he may have just hit the buffet table, but he's going to live to fight another day as Envoy now. The other Dylan battles his way down towards bottom of the site. Wuskin with a nice nade, and London have just turned this round around. Battle the Dylans. Envoy wins for now. Keeps his dead silence alive as well, so buys his team a slight bit of breathing space. Bit of a dud nade, but that's fine. Dead silence still out and about. Envoy could possibly make the play, but this Wuskin's going to be trailing the window. Here we go, chance. Brilliant shots from Envoy. Wonderful kill there to take care of Wuskin, make it a 3 versus 2. Huntsman now with the advantage.
Touch down low. The man that needs to make the play. The attack is here with the dead silence. Pop Envoy up top to hit fire. Not enough for one. Plenty for Skrapz. And 25 seconds left. This bomb's still not down in Chicago. They're going to rotate. They're going to hightail this over to A. And Ravens, it might take them a few seconds to figure it out. Seany, the awareness has just kicked in, but frankly, should be bombed down for free. And you see Ravens trying to set up that pinch.
This is 2v2. This is to break the offensive curse for Huntsman. Seany creeps his way in. Skrapz. The tags are there. There's the first from Seany. He baits out. Now it's all on Arcitys. Can he take both of the Ravens at once? He cannot get it done. Skrapz comes through. The Ravens play it brilliantly, chance, and it is another defensive round for the Ravens.
And just great decision-making from Skrapz as well, right? Like, you think that's just a beautiful round for Chicago. You got Envoy up top that he's able to get the clearance kill. You get the man advantage. And to a certain extent, you do have a fair bit of site control as well. Skrapz knows this, pops the dead silence, goes and hunts Envoy down, gets that shot control back in your favor, and now that B site control does not exist for Chicago. And yes, they made a nice call to go for that rotation, but you saw the teamwork towards the end. Skrapz and Seany making sure that they pinch in on construction at the exact same time. And again, 6 rounds, defense has won in a row. Some team just looking for that clearance, looking for that offensive break.
That's the story. Can London find the first offensive round win? It's been very narrowly missing with the HDR there again. We've seen the AX-50 time and time again. Envoy's going to get first blood. There onto Seany. Is the trade going to be there? A brilliant shot into the back of Dylan there as Envoy finds himself 2. That's 8 overall. Still number 3 in the round. No, not quite, but the nades come through in chance. We've got a few Ravens here on the point. The remaining 3 now going against the 5 Huntsmen. Can they get this bomb down a B?
What Wuskin just trying to find any kill he can get, but Chicago not really giving him anything to work with. Scump, he's not peeking the window anytime soon. Arcitys might do a few spot checks, but frankly, the onus right now is on the Ravens to get this bomb down. There is no rotation coming in, and even though Zero potentially could think about a flank, Formal still posted up in construction. Maybe a bit of a bait coming in as one player from Chicago wraps out, and the timing couldn't be any better. Skrapz made his move at the right moment.
Shot is shot, and there it is. Bomb goes down. Envoy now versus Zero. Envoy wins it. 2 members of the Ravens left. Envoy with a great round. 3 kills all in all. Arcitys finds the other, and now for the final push, it comes down to Wuskin. And he's down and out. 30 seconds for the defuse. And there we go. Chance. It's another defensive round. But the Huntsmen get it done.
Another defensive round. The one thing I will say, I think Chicago has been putting themselves in better spots on offense, right? We've had quite a few rounds for Ravens throughout the course of the entire year, but even a little bit so far in just this map as well, where they just waste a lot of time. Just hang out waiting for some sort of opening that just never comes. And all of the Ravens rounds on offense, they're already at the point where they're down to 15 seconds on the clock when they're going for these plants. Chicago a bit more aggressive, and I'd say a bit more opportunities. But again, not by a ton, because these defensive rounds have been on point. That extra week of preparation for these teams we are seeing on clear display. Even the nades and the coordination that we have seen, everything has been close to perfect.
Speaking of perfect, that's a big round. Open kill from Prestinni. Finds the first with that snipe. And man, his snipe has just been on point so far. Seany now on that defense. This could be the offensive round the Huntsmen need. They're stacking up towards rugs. Seany with the intel. Cheeky nade. A very cheeky nade as Prestinni goes down. Blow for blow we go. Envoy now with the bomb moving forward. Zero from below finds the first kill. Now it's going to be back and forth we go. Chance Envoy now with dead silence. Hunting down Zero. There he is. Who will fall next from the Huntsmen? As both members of the Ravens now activate dead silence and making their way across map, but they are caught between a rock and a hard place. Is it going to be an A push or a B push? It's towards B. The Huntsmen may have won the mind games.
Dylan maybe just a little bit late for this wrap back. It depends on when they try to get this bomb down. It is up to Dylan right now to try to make a play. He gets the clearance to get up top, and the timing might be perfect. The smoke out for protection, and he can't find the kill. The EOD does enough. Bomb gets planted by Envoy, and Chicago had a 3v. Well, now 2v2.
Dylan with a very, very clutch kill. Skrapz now trying to find something forward, just the outside of the window. Scump takes care of Dylan. Now it's a 2 versus 1. It's Skrapz versus T2P. Check every possible angle, every corner. If he jumps out this window, he's in trouble. That's going to be it. The Huntsmen get the round. Map point, Chicago.
In the first offensive one that we are able to get, again, Chicago has been better early on of just making those plays and buying themselves a ton of time so they can afford to wrap all the way from the A site to get that bomb planted B. The first blood, by the way, from Prestinni, absolutely key. Opens up a lot of pressure. You can start getting that flood, and even though the odds get evened out, eventually they had that man advantage with the dead silence plays coming in from Envoy, and Dylan gets forced to give up the B site. The timing from Chicago, absolutely perfect. 1 round away from tying the series up.
Here we go. Ravens on offense. Yet to be able to break the seal in the same way the Huntsmen were. As the doors go bursting open, the defenders now should have some degree of an inkling that the play is in towards A. Dylan slip slides on the point. It's going to be Envoy on the stairs, though. Envoy on the stairs finds the first blood. Envoy on the stairs with the help from Formal. And it is a great defensive hold from the Chicago Huntsmen. 2 players down. The bomb down on the site. This could well be the map.
Will be the map, and just a beautiful job staying alive. Envoy right now putting on a masterclass. Arcitys, though, is going to get picked, but the twin is there for the trade. The sniper's still on point from Prestinni. You got a 4 versus 2 in favor of the Huntsmen. Up to Seany and Wuskins to try to make that play, and Seany right now making his move on the flank. Might actually have a free kill for him right in front.
There it is. The shots are there. Prestinni finally goes down. Seany gets out with his life. Wuskin's now moving in to reinforce. Envoy once again on that stairwell position. He's done so much damage from there so far. And now it's getting naughty. 20 seconds now for the win. But big shots from Wuskin to get the kill. Scump moving forward. 15 seconds in this 2 versus 2. The bomb has to be planted, or the 2 members of the Huntsmen have to be killed in order for the Ravens to survive. And here we go. Formal from up top. Scump breaks right through the bottom door. Finds Seany. The shots are there from Wuskin. The trade comes through. Wuskin versus Formal. 1 versus 1. And Wuskin wins it! Oh my word, Chance. Oh my word.
The 2 versus 4 ain't nothing but a thing for those players. Seany gets the perfect plank. And frankly, just a weird setup, I'd say, from Chicago, honestly. As clean as they've been all game, they knew they had bomb down, and Scump just refused to rotate from the B site, kind of left out a portion of the map. He never even tried to get the mid control, and maybe that small opening for all of those 1v1 gunfights that the Ravens had to win. But hey, they won them all. Wuskin was able to pick up 2. They get the bomb down in the nick of time. And they get that little bounce back. And good news for Ravens, they're back on defense, where they've had a ton of success.
Breaks the seal on the offense. Here we go. Huntsmen in on towards B with the bomb. Formal with the early exchange there versus Wuskin's down low. You can hear the gunshots ringing out over towards the B site. Prestinni repositioning the bomb once again towards the backside of B. And now the lone defenders. Zero just holds his breath, waits for someone to come through here. Crucial position to be in. Arcitys just these shots going through the open mid. He's just trying to bait someone out. We're trying to catch something here. I don't think Prestinni's running a snipe. He's got a bomb in hand, so he's going to be making his way forward quite quickly. But here we go, Chance. The clock is ticking. No one down either side. This could be the play on the bomb.
On out up top, just connect on 1, and these players starting to move down towards the middle map as well. That's where Chicago's putting in their work. Arcitys able to get that up top. Skrapz though with the read, even up these odds. Ready for the second challenge, but no one there, and the bomb does get planted. 40 seconds on the clock.
Once again, trying to now defend the bomb site. Gets it down. Dead silence is about to be finished. The peek around the corner. He versus Wuskin. The shots are there. He saw him retreat, but he does not have the kill. Scump in from behind. Finds 1. The shot's still ringing out as Skrapz keeps his team in this one, and it's going to be Skrapz on the stair while Scump wins a huge engagement, and now it's a 2 versus 2. Arcitys keeping his team in this one, and it falls to Seany now. This is to push the round 11, and Seany makes it a 1 versus 1. How far can he go with a few seconds on the clock? Scump, he just has to check this. He just has to check it. He gets the kill, and the Huntsmen, they tie up the series after the 6-4 there on Ramaza.
Making up for that previous round, the King goes big and continues his S&D prowess. He was the man that got that clearance through the middle alley to get behind enemy lines. And it was weird to me for a moment. I think it was Prestinni or Envoy when they saw Wuskin run out the back door, why they didn't chase. And then we flip over to Scump. He gets the kill perfectly. He gets that house control. And again, those power positions are key. And Seany, I mean, I respect it. Hop the bomb, pop the deadie, try to make the play. But Scump at that point, easy reads for him. The important bounce back, and frankly, if I were to be forced to predict the series right now, it's going the way of opposite of what I would have expected. I thought the Ramaza Ravens were going to be in a pretty decent spot. Well, they were getting blooded left and right by Prestinni's sniper. Envoy threw on a masterclass as well, and Scump went big in the rounds where he needed to most. And I thought the Ramaza hardpoint would have gone the other direction, but either way, it's tied up 1-1 Miles, and now we go into that ever-present domination.
Before we get into the domination first, the US Air Force quick scope. Little overview of the match that we've got ahead of us. This was the record from the entire season. 23-10 overall for the Chicago Huntsmen. That's 84-52 in games. You can see, I mean, Chance, it's quite different. There's a real disparity between the two squads in the season.
And even in that direct head-to-head, right? Chicago and Ravens have played each other 3 times on the year. Chicago has beaten them 3-1 every single time with no exception. So Ravens right now, that storyline is still available. And of course, that domination, it has not been their saving grace. It has been their struggle game mode. But at the same time, they have played Chicago on this map one time, Gunnar Dom. It was a 1-point game. The potential absolutely still there.
Well, that was your Maps and Modes brought to you by the US Air Force. We're almost ready to roll into this one first. Our US Army tactical play. And again, this was a very, very good search, man. It was tough to call this one, but again, unbelievable stuff. Prestinni with the snipe, time and time again, crucial for the Huntsmen's victory.
And again, this is the first offensive round win that we actually saw. So this really was the difference maker for the team. And you actually see the conversion. This is when both players wrap back. And even though it's a 2v2, it's Scump here that knows where Dylan was. He's the man that's able to get those trades and make the job that much easier. And as soon as that pick comes through, Skrapz, there's too many corners to check. He knows he has to hunt down Scump as well. And basically the pinch, the crossfire set up perfectly. Scump over towards the stairs from the window, and Formal, well, just waiting for the challenge to come out. But it was what, 6, 7 fucking defenses like in a row, and finally a team is able to make that break on offense. The difference maker.
It was also the difference maker for the Ravens as well. But man, unbelievable stuff. The search and destroy not going the way that the analysts thought. Again, this is going to be a tight series, mate. And if the domination coming up next is going to be a very exciting one indeed. Can London continue to upset on the maps and modes that we don't think they'll win, or will Chicago walk away with the series? We'll find out after the break. This is the Call of Duty League.
Arcitys a trying clutch. He can't do it.
Haley going on a rampage inside the hill.
He heard him. He gets it. He got it. He got it.
Rule your day with Metro by T-Mobile. Get 1 line of unlimited data for just $40, so you can catch the most epic dubs and replays all on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Rule your day with Metro.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro. Watch the best at their best with unlimited data from Metro, all on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro, everything you need to rule your day.
Scump Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com.
Save money at the restaurants you love with Grubhub perks. Use code CDLChamps at checkout to get free delivery.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League Championship Weekend. And that's what we're all playing for today. That fantastic monolith, that great trophy, symbolizing what, a year of difficulty, a year of craziness. You get to take that bad boy home and put it somewhere where you certainly want it to be seen. Overlooking the Verdansk Stadium again. It's a lovely day here in Verdansk. We're all down underneath it though. We're underneath the stadium here as we take a little walk chance down the newly opened stadium here in the Warzone map of Verdansk. And again, it's been a gorgeous weekend. We know some of you have seen the signs there pointing you towards this very stream today, but we're down low bringing the show to you live. Yeah, we wish we could all be out there with you. It truly would be something special. But we're having a lot of fun here, Chance. I must admit, mate, it's been great being on these little monitors down here. I mean, look at me. I'm in the game. I'm in the game.
It's been my dream always to be in a Call of Duty game, and now we've made it in a very strange way, but I will take it for the broadcast setup that we have. But frankly, I'm just looking forward to the actual gameplay because both maps that we've had have been down to the wire. 6-4 in the S&D, 26-point game I think it was that we had in the hardpoint, and I do not honestly expect the domination to be any different.
No, but Chance, let's face it, mate. Anything can happen here. It's Champs. We tend to forget all about whatever stats we have walking into the year because it all happens. Anyway, we've got some fun tweets on board here. This one comes from Gerbo XL. Whoa, shout out to Game Fuel and COD League for hooking me up with some ATL phase gear for the playoffs. Victory has never tasted sweeter than in this can. Look at that. It's nice Atlanta phase gear. He's got himself the red Game Fuel there to match up. Looks like Gerbo XL. We hope you're enjoying the show. And of course, Bleach X Stains as well. Shout out to the COD League and Game Fuel CDL for the free drinks. Nothing but dubs from here on out. I mean, that is a serious Game Fuel fan. I mean, between the mountain of controllers, the mountain of cans there, his controller, everything you name it, like this guy is on board. This is a
how
true fan.
webcams does that guy have? I see at least 2. Like, I need to write down this at and like get this guy to hit me up so we can build my setup for me. But of course,
we got another one there.
We got more red.
We got more red, dude. We really do. Again, shout out to colleague for the free most. This one from the Life with Will. 3 cans and the Dallas gear. We love that.
It's honestly just a great. Of course, he throws himself in the shot, so definitely a switch up from the setup that we had earlier. But either way, apparently red Game Fuel is a fan favorite. More red, by God, with a little bit of blue. He is right. Dinner is served. What a guy.
What a guy indeed. Well, dinner is served there again for Drew Huntsman, the real Drew. Man, we can get him doing our Grubhub picks, I feel like, with this sort of stuff. But again, wonderful stuff. We hope the fans have all enjoyed the Game Fuel and the swag and all the good merch. It's been very, very exciting to see all that unfold. I'm covered in merch these days, man. I've never had so much between the Game Fuel and between the team merch and all sorts. Like being like this, you name it, the controllers. Like it's all here, man. It's just everywhere. I'm just out of reach for all of it at this point in time, Chance. But
must be nice.
It's great. What are we talking about? All this again coming at you live from the bottom of stadium in Verdansk. But Chance, tell me a little bit about this upcoming domination, mate. We've got a bit. It's
upcoming
big.
domination. Yeah, it's big. Like this, in my mind, is just a map of opportunity, right? Ravens, for 90% of their series that they've had this year, they've been losing the game 3, and that is normal to them. But if they can get the win on domination, that's massive outright. And of course, to take the lead, it will be that much sweeter. So it's just an opportunity for them. Of course, the expectation, I think, for most people is this Chicago's map to lose effectively. They definitely have that clear-cut advantage in the domination, especially so on Gunrunner, where they're 6-2 on the year. They've been very comfortable, but it can just come down to that one moment, that one weird spawn that flips out over towards the C side of things. Like, you just need one moment for the Ravens. That's what happened in the series against Toronto. They had a nice little swing where they were able to set up a triple cap for maybe 30-40 seconds, and little bumps like that can put you over the edge. That's the type of play that the Ravens are looking for. That's frankly the type of play that they're going to need.
Probably going to happen at some point, Chance, for either of these teams. The coins are ready for the tossing. Here we go. Map number 3. Both teams tied up 1-1. Either squad looking to take the lead here in the series. And again, an elimination match. The loser goes home. The winner advances to that top 3. Here we go. Right off the rip. C and A flags captured. 0 Skrapz find the opening kills. It looks like B is relatively safe right now as the Ravens cut their way through. Skrapz can't quite get the third. Former's little bunny up there makes it that bit harder. Now we see a lot of love towards that B flag. A massive win from Wuskin there. But the trades come through, and it looks like it could be a Huntsman flag at B.
That's actually the perfect response as well, because all the kills early on went to the Ravens. They get that advantage, but then they get wiped collectively, and that means the B flag can go the way of the Huntsmen. They could potentially get a good setup that they won. Envoy, frankly, if he's shooting like that, that is not going to be easy to stop. But actually, B flag never got capped. I thought the Huntsmen were able to get it with 2. They still had not quite that final tick has come through, and Skrapz able to shut down potentially 2 players. Prestinni finally there, and the B flag finally, after a minute of gameplay, goes to the Huntsmen.
Finally goes to the Huntsman, but Chance, the real question is for how long can they hold on to this B flag with the Ravens now nipping at the heel. I think now's a great time to go into an Astro Gaming listen-in with the Chicago Huntsmen.
He's on the heady,
Yeah, go see.
He had to run away.
He pushed ramp, push ramp. He's
Already got one. I spawned A.
Box is weak.
Oh, shit.
P3 weak.
We spawn back A still.
Yeah, I'm
good
neutral.
neutral. Yeah, good neutral.
Good job.
I'll see the boxes.
Yo,
dirt.
Let's go for B.
Let's go middle.
One behind me. Go for B.
I smoked ramp. He's gonna be dirt or green.
I'm nading P3. I naded P3.
Grab me.
Nice, that's Seany. Yo, one shot P3. One shot P3. P3, 0. He's going back to the heady.
There's 2 C, guys.
2, I got
Nice, good one.
Wuskin weak.
I'm looking at short.
We're spawning box.
I'm looking short B. He's
I got one. There's another one.
Pipes.
He gets pipes.
Pipes, one shot. Absolute pipes.
Jump. Give you locking short.
Can we mid?
I'm looking short. Yeah, they get in your lockers.
On
A, guys. On A. I'm lockers.
I'm wrapping back A with you.
A should be dead. I got him. One of you guys
cap
that?
Someone
cap that?
Yeah, capping.
I went first.
I would see. Get my vent.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, water push out. Bathroom push out.
Vent.
Nice.
I can get your man now. Nice, good job. That's 30 C. Someone block.
I'm blocking. I'm giving up A.
Oh, we both slid. He's
hurt.
Two on B, guys. I have a trophy there.
Nice work there from the Huntsmen to do a great deal of damage there, but not able to get too much of a lead. Now Chance, an incredible counterattack from the Ravens at hand.
And Wuskin goes huge. He was able to pick up 3 on the point. Now you got Chicago effectively turtled up and a little bit stuck on the backside of tracks. And well, Dylan does get beamed by Prestinni, who can't quite find 0, but he got enough shots in that Scump's there for the cleanup kill. And we have 4 players for the Huntsmen trying to flood this D flag. And frankly, they are dropping every single Ravens player in sight to the point where Formal, he's going for that quick wrap back towards this A flag. And you can see why, Dylan, as soon as he gets there, Formal is 1 step ahead.
Great job identifying the counterattack and stopping it from really manifesting there. It's going to be 0 trying to make his way in through the side of the forest, but the Huntsman on the defense, beautiful work. That was going to be Formal, number 1, far left-hand side of the minimap, and number 3 there. That's Envoy on the A flag. So beautiful crossfire there from the Huntsman to cut the players down from the Ravens, and here we go. Skrapz trying to find an opening through the middle as Dylan once again pops smoke, charges right on through. The flank is safe once again as Formal's got his number. Formal takes care of the second now, and Envoy cleans house also. So the Huntsmen make the A side of the map safe. The overextension not quite possible there as the Ravens have to lick their wounds and back on up once again.
Huntsman nice and stable for the moment. You see that vent room control has been on point for the Huntsman. The comms were a staple point for those guys. But of course now Dylan smokes out. He doesn't have to flank this time. Just needs to get that pressure on the B flag. And well, only has 1 player to help him out, but at least gets the neutralization. You see in the feed, Dylan and Wuskin's lighting it up. Someone's going to sprint through the smoke. Dylan's able to clear that player out, but not enough clearance to get the cap. It's only the neutral that comes through. And you see Chicago, Johnny on the spot, right back to that B flag to capture it right back up.
Fantastic objective awareness there from the Chicago Huntsmen, making sure the flags don't really leave their hands for too long, and that is really what's allowing this very slight lead they've got now over the Ravens here in map number 3. 30 seconds remaining, give or take, as we go now towards the end of the first half. And the Huntsmen, it's been a long-fought battle, but they've just managed to pull this one away, Chance. And again, we heard the comms, we've seen the positioning from them so far. It's been a great run of events now. Can the Huntsmen repeat that success in the second half? Will the Ravens be able to do what they can to bounce back?
It's going to be a little bit more than a 20-point lead going into the second half. Not the best situations for the Ravens to be in, but I think they flip over towards good side, so it is not out of the realm of possibility. But I will say, just the amount of control Huntsman had that entire time. You got Formal at 13-5. That just means he gets to post up and just take these easy gunfights in the back. And of course, we know he's not going to miss, and the snap is on point as well. But just basically a super stable game, right? You get the AB set up, Ravens start putting the pressure on the B, you get the clearance, and then the immediate wrap backs every single time we're coming through for the Huntsmen. And then Ravens respond and go to A. They get dealt with. Now they have to try for the B push, but Huntsmen consistently were 1 step ahead and want to take full advantage of the 24-point lead that they have.
Excited to see how this round's going to open up. A grab looks like there may be, yeah, it's going to be overextension towards A. It's going to be Prestinni hitting the wrap immediately. Is anyone there on the defense? It's going to be Seany. He wins the fight. He keeps the flag safe for now. Scump's there as well. Does Seany take them both out and keep that A flag safe? It looks like the teammates have managed to win the battle over towards B. Scump keeps the run in the middle of the map going, and they're not giving up on A. They're all in, mate. It's done. A flag is now looking very vulnerable. It's only on Wuskin's on the defense. He goes down. Ravens now have to scatter from that B flag back in towards A. Try to make something happen. In the meantime, they're capturing C. I mean, we're spinning plates over here, boys. We truly are.
Yeah, you were right about that A flag being a little bit tasty for the Huntsmen, but actually, yeah, Dylan might want to go back and actually capture that flag, get that final tick to come through. So right now, it is a 2-flag setup for the Ravens, and frankly, all the pressure Huntsmen just put to go capture this A flag, they can't even get it. The triple cap ends up coming through, and yes, they should be good to get C back quickly. But we have, what, a 24-point lead at the half? There's been just over a minute that's gone, and they've already reduced that lead to 9, and they're still able to stabilize with the AB setup. The Ravens, this has been the biggest moment of the game so far.
Great moment of the game so far for them, and I'd love to hear it from their own mouths. Chance, it's time for an Astro Gaming Listen In with the London Royal Ravens.
I need P3, Sean, P3, I didn't close you. One shot, I didn't close you. Finish, guys. Gonna heady weak, Scump.
Heady dead.
Kills, just benched. You're not in the vent, I'm pushing it. I'm playing C, man. Fighting vent now. And boiler. Really can boilers, he can be.
Four.
Let's go.
One already on spawn, it's free.
Remember captain C as well, watch.
Gonna push out the back,
Gonna push out the back.
I spawn back right.
In the corner, Trey. Back C. All over. Almost back left C. I need to go B.
They're going B.
I spawn B. Can I be? I spawn B.
I'm going to be C.
Vent dead. Can you guys, can you on
I smoked it, see.
You gone off. One's on the cart as well.
Wait, no, you give me
Cart, dead. I got naded. I got naded.
Boiler B.
I'm gonna help me. Push me out, dead. I'm not
Nice.
doing
One's in
They're
vent.
P3, they're gonna spawn P3. Spawn back, see,
Walking the back spawn.
I'm going off P3, Sean.
Back in. He went boiler, Michael, you.
I blocked the bike spawn, we can get in now.
One
One dead, one more P3, he's coming to boxes.
He gone through
Envoy boxes, guys. Envoy boxes. Scrapz dead. Nice, guys. Envoy boxes. P5, he's in P5.
Smoke the half. Yeah, let's go B, let's go B.
OBRB9.
Wait, Trey, I'm near night.
Okay.
Wait, Trey, go back.
Back A, dead.
And after this, it's approximately a 15-point game, give or take, as both squads now trying to push this one the distance. Skrapz and Co with a very fast neutral on B. How much real estate can they buy, Chance? I mean, the battle is now about to be brought to them. Formal from up top. The shots are there. He sadly finds a teammate. 2 minutes now remain. The Ravens desperately trying to claw back into this.
They're going to have to, for at least about a minute and a half of this final 2 minutes, hold this 2-flag setup. And of course, for Chicago, potentially maybe a C push eventually going to come in. That's why Wuskin is posted up in the back. But frankly, over towards B, the clearance is good for the Ravens, able to get a ton of kills. And now when they're coming off spawn, because they got the wipe on the B flag, now they know they just need to focus on C potentially. And they have that complete map coverage spread across the board, plays in the power position. Ravens working on this comeback.
Keep working though. And here we go. Prestinni making his way through the middle of the map. You can see that B flag pretty much secure. It's going to be Dylan on the defense. He may look for the overextension should he want it. Skrapz a big one there, down by the C flag. There's still a few Huntsmen out and about looking to take care of him. Sorry, Scump. He finds it. He can't quite get the second. It was Skrapz that loses the fight over there by the C flag. My apologies. It's going to be A now going into the hands of the Ravens. Formal and Envoy now trying to secure this one. Envoy on the hunt. Seany gets cut down immediately. Wuskin, though, he still stayed alive on the B flag. This could be a little bit more damaging than expected. Is this now a 12-point game? If the Huntsmen can get back out of this one and Ravens finally secure B. Oh, Chance. Back and forth we go, mate. Back and forth we go. Final minute.
Yeah, 45 seconds left, 11-point game. The Ravens 2-flag setup is not going to be enough. Eventually, they're going to have to make the play, but they are getting decimated along the way. Dylan tries to be the playmaker. Formal always there in the B flag neutral, potentially getting capped up by Scump, but Scump doesn't need the flag. He needs the kills, able to pick up one, and now starting to push out to look for even more.
Going, 25 seconds now remaining, and again, where is London going to be making the push from? They've got to get themselves onto the B flag. They have to have someone overextend towards A as well. 20 seconds remain. It's still relatively tight, but Chance, it could well be it. 15 seconds on the clock. And with these final few shots, we could be seeing the Huntsmen taking the lead in this series. It is going out with a bang. Tied up 1-1 after the exciting search and destroy. And now after the Dom, 2 great rounds. Huntsmen will finally take the lead in the series, 2-1.
Taking that lead and feeling good because of it. Again, this domination for the Ravens, in my mind, a map of opportunity. Not expected that they're going to get the win. They can honestly almost go into these series and just be prepared to make sure that their S&D and their hard points need to be on point because of that Game 3 sort of falter mode. It's the exact situation that we see. And of course, from map 4, we're going to be into a St. Petro hardpoint, where we've seen already just last weekend how good the Ravens can be on this map. This is where Seany went crazy, dropped I think 10 more kills than anyone else in the lobby with 2 minutes inside the hardpoint. You're going to need that kind of game out of him. You're going to need the Ravens to play at their best, because right now we saw how calm and controlled the Huntsmen were that entire side of domination effectively. Right now they're full steam ahead.
Here's your stats. Slow one from 0 at 9:19, but overall, I mean, it was the flag engagements. Both sides really jostling quite well there in the Dom. We'll have a look at our damage dealt lead one in just a moment as well, Chance. I mean, this has been a great series so far, mate. This really has. It's far from over, but now it's do or die time for the London Royal Ravens. And, mate, again, they have to play the very best Call of Duty they've literally played all year long, just to manage to find a win over these teams. They haven't managed to beat the Huntsmen once. We've seen a home series final with them. It was a 3-1 victory to the Huntsmen there. No one's really come close. Is this the day to get it done? I mean, how far has London got to go to try to find a win here against these superstars?
It's a long road ahead, right? Just how difficult it is. Like, you have one championship as a total combined for the entire team of the Ravens, and that's 0. He won a tournament back in IW. It's been a long time since any of these players have tasted gold. And then you go to the flip side. Chicago's won a couple tournaments just this year, and it's not just total tournaments win that they obviously just blow the Ravens out of the water, especially with that T2P duo. You also have 4 world champions on the side of the Huntsmen. It is champs time. This is when those players are at their their absolute best. And even the stat line we just saw, right? Like Formal's having a casual game, going with like a 1.6, 1.7 KD. Scump's dropping 24, leading the lobby. Like, this is the best Scump we have seen this entire year, and he's had a good year anyway. He's just kicked it up a notch for this tournament. They just seem to be in full control. They just seem to be very clean right now. And in my mind, again, it's just so difficult, I think, for the Ravens to try to get the bounce back. But again, St. Petro, they've done it before.
They've done it before, and they can do it again. But now we have a quick look at the PS4 damage dealt leaderboards so far in this match. And again, it's going to be Zero leading the charge there at 3,696 damage. This is from the hard point. Seany close up behind him at the quad threes, and we love to see that. Up after that, it's going to be Arcitys, Scump, and Envoy. I mean, Zero, he was looking fantastic in that first hard point chance. There was back on Ramaza, and now we roll into a repeat performance to keep London in this one. Absolutely ideal.
And I think for the side of London, obviously Zero does need to have a nice bounce back game in the hard point, but a couple players not on this list that I think might make an appearance on the St. Petro, it's going to be that AR battle, right? Wuskins has been incredible all year, and he's going against like a West Coast Formal. So in my mind, Wuskins need to take full advantage of that tiny little server thing that they have going their way and make sure that he's the guy piecing up, lighting up in the feed with that M4 and being that main guy. And of course, Seany in the background, he's the guy pulling out the extra M4, the flex guy that does whatever he needs to for the team. Also needs to be at his best, because right now for Scump, guns are hot for Formal and Arcitys, and just across the board. We've already said it about 17 times, Miles, but again, we have to say it again. The Ravens need to be at their absolute best for this.
Need to force that game 5 for the Ravens, but for the Huntsmen, this is it. A win here on this hard point will get them into that top 3 position here at Champs. We're almost ready to roll into this match now, mate. I mean, just thinking back on what a crazy year it has been. It's been true drama for the London Royal Ravens. It's been up and down team changes and trades happening for the Huntsmen. They've gone from true glory with a couple of victories in the home series, and now you find themselves in the lower bracket. One more map is all they need, and Petrograd could be the one to do it, and T2P continue the reign. Again, the storylines of Prestinni and Arcitys able to go back-to-back as champions, as world champions. This map's going to see.
Potentially $150,000 map, St. Petrograd hardpoint of all of them. St. Peter Griffin for the beans potentially in the end. And again, as you pointed out, a couple of these players looking for their second ring, but obviously it's only Saturday and we still have 2 more days, well, at least today and tomorrow of COD left to play. Ton of action left, and obviously some killers waiting in their wings for the next series. But Huntsmen starting on that good side on St. Petro, get off to a good start here and set yourself up long term for that success.
You see that one lone player there from London trying to make the flank. It's an absolute war raging on the top side of the apartments. Ravens do come out on top. Arcitys there with a hard point time. The first 10 is gone. It's been perfect so far for them. Envoy now trying to catch this player Skrapz out. Keep the hard point player safe. Scump's got the flank covered. So far, so good for the Huntsmen. Another 20 seconds go by. Relatively uncontested. And Chance is looking great so far. It looks like the Ravens have kind of given up somewhat on the hard point, and they're really trying to fight in towards second hard point.
And frankly, that's just a bunch of one-on-ones that Chicago comes out on top. Formal wins his one against Wuskin. That's the big AR battle. And Scump on the flank was able to win his one-on-one. You actually see Seany has been able to wrap and go all the way around and try to fight for new. Chicago hunt him down and don't even have to give up any hard point time to make it happen. The kill feed lighting up in their favor. Alex starting off 4-0 and gets 3 in the feed right there. They get what? 50-something seconds on the P1, and they win the rotation as well. The perfect start from the
Beautiful. Can they keep it going? Scump, Prestinni, Envoy. The kill feed is all Huntsmen right now. They will not stop. Formal finally dies at 5-1. A bit of Prestinni. Hardpoint times his. Nades coming through, and again, just trying to soften up the defender, but there's so many good angles being covered right now by the Huntsmen. It's incredibly difficult to make their way onto the point. Now the London are here. The flood is on. The kills are there. So go the trades. Spawns to the back now. Envoy trying to find something here. You can hear the player above him. Finally catches it. Look left, look right. Headset's on the right way today. As Arcitys now makes his way forward. A couple of kills still going the way of the Marshall brothers on point. Dylan finally goes down. Skrapz goes down. Zero's going to be there now to try to break the hard point. A lone push. He's not going to be able to get much done. Rotation's now already underway, Chance, and it's going to be Seany in on towards Hazmat.
Yeah, well, if they get that guaranteed rotation, so you see Skrapz effectively just setting up for these sort of spawn kills, trying to keep the Huntsman trapped as far back in the map as possible. And you see exactly where Prestinni spawns up. He has to trek all the way across the map to make this happen. But either way, it is what? An 80-point lead right now for the Huntsman. The Hazmat Hill, the way I see it, if they can just get not necessarily the full break, but contest for 15, 20 seconds, and as long as they secure the rotation, I'm calling it a win. And of course, for the Ravens, they just want that perfect full 60 to get themselves right back into this game.
Prestinni's going to try to do something about that. Now in from behind, finds one. It's going to be Seany up next. Wuskin's got his number. The good kill there just to keep the flank safe, keep the spawn still good for now. And number 6, man is already looking for that payment. And it's Skrapz who's sitting in the middle, trying to secure the transition towards the pool. The next hard point coming up here in Petrograd. Ravens now in the position. Great time goes their way, and it's on Skrapz. The next battle is going to be absolutely huge. If he can stay alive in this position, he honestly could set the squad up for a great run towards the next hard point.
Well, he hasn't found a kill yet, and of course in the hill, actually, Scump, by the way, just went pretty big. He was able to pick up 2 kills and to get the contest time, and he's been able to just strip away so much time on the clock, and he's able to pick up even more. So you have massive plays on one end from Scump, and of course the rotation. Yes, Skrapz was able to sneak through, but he effectively just put his team in a 4v5 because he got 0 kills along the way. He's hiding in a corner. He's not blocking any spawns. Now, Huntsmen say, thank you very much. Had no idea Skrapz was back here, and it doesn't even matter. He dies immediately. The rotation is there, and the Huntsmen continue what has effectively been a perfect game for them so far on St. Patrick's.
Tough one for Skrapz there. That was a long and pointless life, and now it's done. Back into the mix we go. Arcitys formal Scump, finding the kills. It's going to be Envoy on top of the tables. As bad man as usually, but right now, a power position for this young man. 10-6 overall for Arcitys. Can't quite find any more. Seany cuts him down before getting into the hard point. It falls out of Prestinni. Prestinni shots down on the immediate prone under the table. Just keeping these players back, and it's once again Envoy, 11-6. 3 kills in a row for him. Keeping the Huntsman looking very mean and sharp whatsoever. 10 seconds remaining now, chance, and mate, this is an absolute bloodbath. The Ravens have started to look a little bit thin here, and this is a bad look. They've got a chance now to bounce back as they've got solid control towards Restaurant, but can the Huntsman close this out and push that lead even further?
I've heard those Ravens might be leaving that tower. They do have Restaurant secure early on, but even a full 60, they're still going to be down by quite a bit, so they have their work absolutely cut out for them. Dylan, though, staying alive inside the point, and you see Huntsman right now, all that pressure being put on the front side, a bunch of players potentially trying to come in through B-Dom, and Dylan, well, able to find at least 1 kill inside the point, a big 1v1 as well, but then Alec comes through, picks up 2, 14-7 for the world champ, and you got Chicago right back inside the hill, right back in control.
I mean, the line to get in a restaurant was going out and around the block here, and this is it. Huntsmen are in. Good opening kills now from the Ravens. Can they make it 4 in a row? No. Prestinni now gets involved. Envoy from down low gets 2. He's going to stay alive. 15 seconds remaining, and Envoy, he may as well net that time himself. Over we go now to a new one. But Huntsmen making the best of every bad situation the Ravens try to even put them in, and there's not many at this point, chance. Prestinni once again, a good set of kills. Now you've got control towards the first, and it's all going to come down. Well, it was Seany, and now he's dead. Huntsman with a hard point.
Huntsman with the hard point, and as well the mid-map spawn. I thought for a second Zero might end up forcing good spawns for the Huntsman, but inside the hill, it's going to be a little bit chaotic. Skrapz right now just trying to heal up around this back fan, and frankly, you have effectively just a face smash on the hill. 3v3 for both teams. Trades are coming through, and for the moment, the Huntsman out on top, but obviously a ton of contest time, but in the feed, Scump able to pick up 3, and that's just enough to get that control to push out just a little bit as they continue to run the score up.
Envoy once again, another 2 there on point. Arcitys getting involved from upstairs. Scump's already on the rotation. He's just managed to slip one through. Seany goes down there on the point, and once again the Ravens are starting to falter. The feathers are flying out of the wings right now. They are looking very much grounded. Final 10 seconds here on the first, and they've tried to contest it for as long as possible. That's going to be the last few moments. Now eyes go towards the next. It's the mental game of London now. They have to maintain this pressure. They've got control for the time being. The crossfire comes through though. It's going to be Arcitys with the shots. How many more? Oh boy. Oh boy. How many more can the Huntsman find here on spawn? Envoy is putting on a clinic chance. He's dealing the damage at every possible angle. We're going to see 200 points cracked in just a moment. The Huntsmen have yet to truly break it, but this is disgusting from Chicago.
This looks like they're just trying to warm up for the rest of the day. The road on Saturday for either one of these teams only gets more difficult from here, but obviously the Huntsmen in full control. Maybe not the worst hill in the world, right? 30 seconds left on the point. Raven looks like they're going to be able to get nice and secure with it. They get that team wipe, and Huntsmen now forced to rotate. But at the same time, anytime I look at the scoreboard, it is just so far and away above in favor of the Huntsmen, who going into Hazmat Hill, as long as they don't completely drop the ball, stabilize, and even get 30 seconds on board, they're going to be in a fantastic spot to win the game. So, of course, for the Ravens, they're going to need this break. They somehow have to find a way to maybe not win the rotation, but get in this hill in the next 10 or 15 seconds.
Could be it. This could be the very last map you see the London Royal Ravens play, unless they can get something going here. Into Hazmat they go. From upstairs, Zero, cut down immediately. Envoy once again holding the line. This is the Chicago Huntsman's Hazmat building. Arcitys posted up towards the rear. There is 40 seconds remaining on the hardpoint clock. Dylan finally manages to make his way in. A 1 versus 1 now against Prestinni as Zero takes care of that. Once again, the Huntsmen still pushing forward. It's been a decent break. Dylan with another clean kill there. And this is a good look as the Huntsmen now spawning on the far left-hand side. Ravens chance. They may have bought themselves a lifeline.
I mean, honestly, a beautiful hill, chipped away a ton of time, and they are still going. It looks like finally there might be the clearance, but Dylan able to pick up 3 before he gets dropped, and it looks like those final 15 seconds actually might be contested. You have Ravens pouring on all the pressure, trying to strip away every single second that it can, and frankly, those are at least a great attempt, a great idea. But of course, it's going to be Huntsmen, 20 points away, and they win the game. But we go into another money hill where potentially a full 60 can get locked down. But again, Ravens, they had a beautiful job on Hazmat. They still have to play damn near perfect.
Have to play perfect. They do have the hard point for now, but you can see the Huntsmen spawning all around them, and it's going to be number 4. It's going to be Scump. He's going to make the entry kill if he can on the shorty. He catches him nading. Scump's in the hard point. He manages to get in there, and now it's on a Wuskin to try to make the break. But there you go. Arcitys, the rest of the Huntsmen show up. Scump gets a good spawn, leads the charge, and now you've got Pool Hall. You have to break this now, London. You have to get in there now, get in there and go, as the contest is going to be there for a moment. But Scump, he may have just put his team in a great position to push this game further.
20 seconds left, and again, Raven, it is do or die. They've done just enough on this hill, just about, to make sure that they can't lose it here. Of course, so that rotation restaurant, well, they get that first entry kill. Seany able to win his one-on-one, and they are keeping this game alive. All that pressure on the backside, they're trying to stack up around restaurant, and we go again. 3 hills in a row now that the Ravens could have lost on it, but they still have fight in them. Still trying to make these plays, and Seany again, still alive in the heart.
Bombs have got to be clear. Time now to just sort of forget how to feel and play your heart out. Skrapz trying to find these players upstairs. He's got shots in. Dylan, Zero find the kills. 1 remaining member there of the Huntsmen upstairs. As once again, the Ravens have to play this absolutely perfectly. 35 seconds remain. They have to hold on. They have not had a lot of success in this hard point. Scump waiting for the opportune time to go for the break. There's the first kill. Now he makes his way forward. The King has risen and he's making his way onto the point. Can't get another one there on the Shawnee. Arcitys there to pick up the pieces. That could well be it, Chance. That could well be the map 5 now for the win. Huntsmen are looking to break into the top 3 here, and that's it. The contest is there. Envoy with the kills. It's done. The Chicago Huntsmen finish it up there in the hard point, and they will move on to the Elimination Finals.
Would you have it any other way? The final 3 teams we have to survive this year to fight their way on champs. It is the teams that from day 1 were the top 3 in the game. And frankly, there's really been no clear-cut moment where any team has held that number 1 spot permanently, where it's been divisive, or decisive, I should say. Today and tomorrow will be the decider who can reign king, but frankly, for the Huntsmen, hell of a series they just had. They falter on the map 1 Ramaza. Couple spawns just frankly do not go their way, but after that, full steam ahead. Clutched up in the search and destroy, cruise control for the domination, and then flip the switch and kick it up a notch for that final hardpoint. They got the ball rolling, and they effectively turned that into a $150,000 warm-up match to get ready to be fed potentially to the beast, where the juggernauts now are going to be going at it. 3 teams left, Miles, and as expected, the 3 best teams in the game.
It's poetic, almost. The With the Cinderella stories come to an end, the clock has struck 12 and Cinderella's not going to the ball. But London, what a season it had been for them and an incredible way to turn it around with a top 4 finish here. But alas, we do say a very, very fond farewell to the London Royal Ravens here at the Call of Duty Championship weekend. But yeah, you're right, mate. The top 3 are now set. The elimination finals are gearing up. We've, of course, got the Huntsmen in there. They will play the loser of Dallas versus Atlanta coming up next after this one. Of course, that's our big game coming out later today. Wow, what a series that was, man. What a series that was. Let's have a quick look at our Scuff Player of the Game chance. It was going to, of course, be that Restaurant Hill. The final few moments, the exciting conclusion to this hard point. Actually, no, it wasn't the conclusion. It was just the Restaurant Hill because it was insane. It was just chaos.
If you say so. Genuinely can't remember it. There's too much that happened in this game, but already what I'm seeing is, in my mind, just that scoreboard. How basically straight across the board, Formal 14-4, he's hanging out. Alec with the other AR, that secondary guy, also keeping up that level of production. And Huntsmen, again, just the lead that they're able to accrue for themselves. Envoy with a perfect hip fire to pick up quite a few of these players. It was straight across the board, right? Everyone played out of their minds. They took turns on who was going to go off. I think this map, it was Envoy that was able to throw up, I think, 31 kills on board with like 1 minute and 45 seconds in the hill. He played fantastic, but it is just everyone firing on all cylinders. And frankly, one of the bigger storylines potentially we've had for the Huntsmen is last weekend, even with the success that they did have, you had the Twins, right? Like a .76 and .78 respectively for both Prestinni and Arcitys. This series alone, they are just playing out of their minds. Some of the best Call of Duty we've seen from these teams all year long. And of course, you see them making it to that losers final, waiting for this next match to be completed to see who they have to go against.
It was a 3-1. I think it was Pac-Man called the 3-1 victory. Nameless had a 3-2, and it could have gone either way. When you look back to how tight the hard point, not the hard point, the search and destroy was, because of course the hard point was a relatively open and shut case. London did a great job there on Ramaza, but that search, man, there were a few rounds where it really could have gone either way. I mean, the opening, 4 rounds. The first 2 went to the clock, and it was just defense after defense after defense. Mate, what a series that really was. Well, we've got a little bit more news coming your way, of course, here at the Championship weekend. But challenges, mate. Challenges, Chance. We've got some news. We've got our regional winners of the Call of Duty League challenges. And for APAC, and again, I say good day to my mates. Sets, Pred got it done. There's Crimsa there. Fighter and Swifty, they managed to win that one. And the European side of things, it was going to be Team War. No massive surprise there. They were dominant all year long. Vortex, Harry, Dave, Denza, and Afron. What a name that is. In the North American side of things, it was Triumph. It was going to be Afron. On the North American side of things, it was going to be Triumph. Standy Royalty, and again, Nagafen's there, Fellow, and Diamond. Beautiful stuff. Again, massive congratulations to the challengers. To the champions of challenges, let's just say there. But there we are, mate. What a crazy year it really has been. We're going to now dive over to Lando, who I believe has got our PlayStation instant reaction with someone. Chance, I mean, I can imagine who it could be. I mean, do you want to talk to Envoy? Do you want to talk to Prestinni, Arcitys, maybe even God? Who knows? You know what?
Talk to all of them.
Well, why don't we find out in just a moment as we roll across the bottom floor of the dance here and find out who he's chatting to. Lando, take it away.
Thank you so much, Miles. Yes, it is your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation. I'm Lando, and joining me is good old Envoy from the Chicago Huntsmen. Envoy, what, man? The last time that we talked, it was in that big, Game 5, Round 11 versus OGLA. I think Maven deemed it the 1v1 heard around the world. Tell me, does a clutch like that ignite the team with confidence now coming in here to Champs Weekend?
Oh, it for sure does. I mean, we have so much momentum behind ourselves after, that win and now this win versus the Ravens. We feel unstoppable.
Well, I got to ask you too, right? Kind of on topic with that, the team manages to get the job here done versus the Ravens, kind of in kind of that same kind of, well, I could say kind of and level with that debate or that conversation about momentum. It wasn't an easy task here versus London, but do you guys feel like the week break you have here versus London kind of helped you overall in the series, considering how hot that this London team looked in that elimination bracket?
It might have. I know for all the teams, it was actually really hard to get practice this week. And, I mean, I know London didn't even scrim this morning, and we got a scrim in versus Dallas, luckily. So I feel like we were a lot more warm than they were coming into the series.
Now I got to ask you too, in terms of, search and destroy, we talk about, how this has kind of been deemed as, at least from your team, from an Outwork perspective, it's kind of been deemed on like, is this really the mode for Chicago Huntsmen that they can kind of rely on? You guys managed to get it here versus the Ravens, kind of been deemed as a very solid S&D team throughout the entirety of the year. How does search and destroy feel right now for the team?
It feels honestly probably like our best game mode. In the month break leading up to playoffs, our S&D improved immensely, and we actually expanded our map pool to basically all the maps. So we could play any of them now, whereas parts of the year we couldn't play some of the maps, or we weren't as confident in playing those. So S&D wins championships, like people say. So it's definitely the best game mode to be good at all the maps on.
That's for sure, man. Well, that was your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation. Envoy, thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck later today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Champs Weekend has only just begun, folks. When we come back after the break, it is our Game Fuel marquee matchup, Atlanta FaZe versus Dallas Empire. Don't go anywhere.
Going to be an absolute banger to start off the day here again.
Just trying to hunt these players down. It's only Scump that's left over towards construction side, and of course all this time in the hill still has been going the way of the Ravens. The best start they could have asked for.
Skrapz wins a big one. That's going to be number 3 in a row. Huntsmen have to contest. They've got to get on the point. The Ravens have managed to make it clean, and with that, a few more seconds, the Ravens could call map number 1 theirs.
True push onto this side.
And again, that sniper has yet to really come into play, but the pistol shot has Envoy now, takes the top of a Dylan. He wins the second against Wuskin there. Beautiful stuff. Scump breaks right through the bottom door. Finds Shorty. The shots are there from Wuskin. The trade come through. Wuskin versus Formal. 1 versus 1. And Wuskin wins it. Oh my word, Chance. Scump, he just has to check this. He just has to check it. He gets the kill.
Chicago hunt him down and don't even have to give up any hard point time to make it happen. The kill feed lighting up in their favor. Alex starting off 4-0.
Huntsmen are looking to break into the top 3 here, and that's it. The contest is there. Envoy with the kills. It's done.